Greetings, this is Scholars on the Scene. What's current? Soulja Boy, $4 million plus, and it's not even the punitive damages. These are just standard damages. I guess you could call them. I'm looking for all over the place. They just say damages, and then there's punitive damages. They haven't declared or showed those damages yet. I think he may have $4 million, but I don't even know if that's the point. The point is the fact that he is liable. He's an absolute abuser. He's somebody that committed sexual battery. He's definitely somebody that is now going to be looked at as a pariah in the industry. I think he's not going to be looked at the same way, even though it's not a criminal case. It still was part of something that was official and definitely had an impact with $4 million plus against his name. The jury was not playing around. They did not see the glasses. They looked way past the glasses and the suit and the tie and all that. They weren't, focused on any of that. They had the idea of making themselves fully regarded as representatives of the state of California, and found him liable. So, I mean, this will be a career changer for him, I think. This is definitely going to, maybe it may slow him down. It may give him a speed bump. It may give him an opportunity to clear his head. He may, get off the weed. He may get off of using, heavy, substances, allegedly. So that's the basis of all of this, is because Soulja Boy has done a lot for hip hop. He is actually a legend. He's a veteran. That's weird to say, but he's a veteran. Before he turns 40, he's in his early 30s, I think. But he's definitely a legend in the game. He revolutionized the game. He went from the ringtone rap to various platforms and different ways of expressing himself. So that is key. That's very key. One moment, please. Okay, just had to make sure of something. All right. So he is a figurehead in hip hop. He is definitely one of the brightest stars to ever come out of the womb of rap music. That's what I meant to say, not hip hop, but rap music. Because there is no such thing as hip hop necessarily. There's rap music, and then there's everything else. That's about it. So he is a he will go down in history. This again, he can go in any room, he can go make deals, he can do anything he wants, but he's always gonna be labeled as, oh yeah, you had those, you were liable for that civil suit. It's not too good. It's not looking too good for you. It's not looking too good for you. And maybe this should be, a game changer for not just him, but people like Lil Zay Osama and so many others that get into domestic violence cases, that beat on their women. That could be a serious kind of awakening for a lot of these, not just rappers, but anybody, and anybody that is in those situations. This could happen to you. It may not be $4 million, but it could be $30,000, and that could potentially hurt somebody's pocket seriously. So that's something that we have to look out for. Something that we have to continue to be vigilant over, because it's not just about the money. It's about the money and the power. The power comes from the fact that I don't know how the money was diminished. It was supposed to be $73.6 million. Turned out to be $4 million in damages. So not everybody's getting what they wanted. He's obviously getting hit because of the civil liabilities, and the Jane Doe, the young girl, she is not getting the exact amount of money she wanted. A sincere and serious decline in the amount of money that she had originally asked for. But in all, I mean, this could be a defining moment for everybody. I mean, it just goes to show you that emotions. It's all about emotions. Instead of rationality, instead of thinking, instead of clearly recognizing and realizing what it really means to be a thoughtful person and someone that can challenge the system and make it seem like it's better. That's the whole key to all this. That's the whole key to what we have to do as citizens, as responsible citizens of the world, who happen to live in America, but the United States courts don't play. They don't play at all. They're not, for games. And I think the jury and the prosecutor that's right, right? Still prosecutor. I think it's a prosecutor. I'm trying to think if it's in a criminal case and a civil case. They use the same word, prosecutor. Um, and I guess, and she was the plaintiff. That's the difference. She's not like so. Anyway, they did their homework. They studied. They look forward to getting Soulja Boy's money. They're going to do that. It looks like. I mean, what is he going to do? What is he going to he pays allegedly $25,000 a month for a rental space in California. That is extremely, high amount of money, according to the, everyday American, not too many people have enough money to pay $25,000 a month for a rental space. So, he may have the money. I think he does have the money. He can definitely, there was something else in the past where, he was ordered to pay money as well. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but he had to pay something, and it was like they took it from his the money he made from his video game. His first rapper, I'm the first rapper to have my own video game. I'm the first rapper to have my own video go 3.3 million views. First rapper to go 1 billion views on YouTube and stuff like that. So that's just the way he gets down, but. This may be, maybe a detour for him. Maybe a bit of a wake up call. He got this. This is what Paul Mooney was said. Nah, nigga, wake up. It's your nigga wake up call. Wake up, nigga. This is his wake up call. This is his wake up call. This is letting him know that things have gotten real. Things have gotten to a point where you can definitely get caught up. He got caught up in the system. He's probably thinking his lucky star is not a criminal case, because a criminal case he would have probably got pushed into a suit, not a suit, but some years in behind bars, which I still am trying to figure it out. I read the article. It said the difference between a civil case and a criminal case when it came to sexual assault and battery and all these different, I guess they're charges or something of the nature. I know they're charges in the criminal case, but in the civil case, I don't know what they exactly are. But Soulja Boy is taking it there. He's taking it to another point. And he's probably going to show the way, like, hey, look, if you're not out here thinking, if you're not out here being rational, then you're going to end up just like me, paying $4 million plus to just sketel. No, I'm not going to say that. That's wrong. But this woman, this woman, and you're going to be paying to women and whomever, based on whatever you did in the past. And this is from 2019 and 2020. So we're talking about 5 and 6 years ago. So we have to, we have to look at this all completely as an example of what can happen, and he should take this as a lesson, not a loss. He should take this as an L, as a lesson to never do this again, for one thing, or never do anything like it again. He may have to go to counseling. He may have to go to classes. He may have to go to different groups. He may. I'm not saying he will. Most likely will, but he may have to take anger management classes and do all kinds of things like that, because that's the weird thing with this whole. I've never in my life had a female where I was like, or ready to hit or strike or choke or anything. Nothing of that nature. Because it's not worth it. It's irrational. It's horrific. You're not supposed to put your hands on anyone. And that goes for this other side too. Females, don't put your hands on your men. And I guess there's men on men and female on female and stuff like that. But that, I don't know about. I'm talking about the heterosexual world. That's the world I'm familiar with. But it will apply to them as well. Apply to anybody, any human being in a romantic relationship. Things go south and you want to start, throwing bows and, doing all these different things. He didn't get caught up for false imprisonment, which was one of the, I guess, charges. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It was, okay, here it goes. Here's the breakdown. The court officially reached a verdict in the civil case for which the Jane Doe demanded over $73 million in damages. According to journalist Nancy Dillon, the jury awarded $4 million in damages for claims including assault and sexual battery to the plaintiff, plus an extra $2,650 due to lack of wage statements. They were not playing around with that glasses thing. That just gets me. That always gets me. I mean, it's cute, I guess, if it works, but if it doesn't work, I mean, what's the point? I mean, I have 0 viewers right now, by the way. 0 viewers. Just to let you know. Now I have 1 viewer. 1 viewer, 1 like. But so Soulja Boy has to grow up. That's basically it. I hope this is his road to redemption. I hope he can make another hit again. Not the same thing over again, but create another hit without swag in the title or crank in the title. Hopefully. I just want him to succeed. He's a creative, talented young man. And he's very he's thoughtful when it comes to his business and his music. But when it comes to, domestic matters and home life, he's a totally different animal. He's a totally different person. He's a totally different kind of unthinking man. He's the irrational animal. Just an animal. I mean, based on these suits. I guess I guess that's going on. The lawsuits, the lawsuit and the different categories that they're in. I think with Soulja Boy's his abilities, his patterns, his ways of usually getting out of legal situations. This is put an end to that. This is stop that. $4 million plus has got to come out of his pocket somewhere, somehow. I don't know if he's gonna do a GoFundMe. I don't know if he's gonna do. Do they still have what is it? It's GoFundMe and crowdsourcing. Is that it? Crowdsourcing. They still have crowdsourcing websites like GoFundMe. I don't know. I'm thinking about Kickstarter. Do they still have Kickstarter? That was big like 10 years ago. That was like huge. A lot of people in the entertainment industry were latching on to that and trying to say, oh, if we just do a Kickstarter, we can get this film project off the ground. We can start, making this movie. We can make this television show with a Kickstarter. That kind of slowed down, it seems. I don't hear that too much. I don't hear Kickstarter or GoFundMe too much. There's another site that people are using now, but it's the same idea. You're raising funds. Let's see. I'm looking for a yellow bone, long hair star, thick in the hips. Come get in my car. Come party with a star. We take off and go to Mars. Pretty boy take off in 5, 4, 3, 2. He took off. He took off in the wrong direction. That's what happened. Soulja Boy. I mean, everybody was you and crank that. Everybody was feeling that for a while. Salute to King. Yeah, give me a time, sir, and give me a time, and I'll definitely be on your channel. Tell me what time you get on. I'll definitely be on there. I would like to do that. We should exchange viewerships. I do agree with that. So you tell me a time when you guys go live. Hopefully, or give me. Let me see your channel, because I think I'm already subscribed to it, but I just need to get an update. Let me see. I think yeah. All right, now subscribed. Okay, so when you go live, I'm definitely going to go along with you. Definitely going to go along with you. We be live like every other day, so tomorrow morning, like, okay, great. So I should get a notice. Regarding your live position. Yeah, I subscribed. I'm subbed up. I'm subbed up, sir. I'm all subbed up. So I should get a little bell. I should get a little rings, when you guys go live, and I'll definitely get on the broadcast. So salute to you. So yeah, Chef TMGZ, excuse me. It's really that's something I gotta look into. We can get each other subs up. That's what's incredible. When we do business together, we can get each other's work, up into the atmosphere. Cool. Absolutely. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming into this live. Thank you for being having a blue wrench. You earned it. But yeah, so Soulja Boy is definitely on the precipice of something different. He's on the edge of creating something new in his life, starting over. He's got to give up those 4 M's plus, and then we even consider the punitive damages, the additional damages that go along with the civil suit. Punitive damages, which is probably going to be 1 to 2 million. That maybe that I'm not sure exactly how much more. Could be more than 4 million. I don't know how much the punitive damages are going to be, but once they're set, they're going to be put in place by whatever the jury, I guess, says or something like that. But that's the weird thing, and it's interesting because I saw a play. I can't remember the name offhand, but it was I think it was Justice on. That's what it was. Justice on Trial. Justice on Trial regarding the reparations for foundational Black Americans, and it had people from the past. It was pretty interesting. It was a melodrama. It had the tropes of what would be considered a hood play or something like that, or a Tyler Perry style play or something like that. But it was actually pretty good, and like Tyler he makes pretty good plays. They're not excellent, they're pretty good. They're very good. Like August Wilson made. He's no longer with us, but he made excellent plays. But this play was very good. But anyway, the play was about a civil case for reparations, and that America owed $18 trillion in damages, and I don't remember how. I think it was the punitive damages were higher. I can't remember. I think it was like 167 trillion or something like that. Something crazy. I can't remember what it was, but it was very interesting. It was a very interesting show. So I say all that to say this: Soulja Boy definitely has he has a streak that is come to an end. He has to sober up now. I think he's going to sober up, not just literally stop smoking weed and maybe drinking taking alcohol if he does alcohol. I may not know. I know not what he does to his system, but I think with the idea of him being forever scrutinized because of this. Is like I said, this isn't going to go away. This is not going to be a case that will go away. This is something that will always stand and be true and be realized throughout all of his business dealings. This would be something that's going to be very serious. This is going to be something that's going to be something that should nurture him. It should give him pause. It should give him pause. It should give him a chance to breathe. Just wow, I really, I got taken for 4 million because I did what I did 5 to 6 years ago. I mean, it's not allegedly anymore. It's not allegedly. It's not that he allegedly struck her or allegedly abused her. He did. Whatever happened to his game? That's what I would love to know too. I think that either went up and he had some kind of issue with it, like around COVID, and which he said, "I wish you had get COVID, you B word or something like that." But anyway, yeah, around COVID, I think it fizzled out. Something didn't go too well, and I think he either sold the company or the company went under or something like that. Yeah, I remember that he was like the first. I'm the first rapper with a game console. I'm the first rapper, with my own video game system. So I do remember that, King. Salute to you for bringing that up. That's something that he may or may not have money still, on in the bank because of that game console. He may still have a little bit left. I mean, I don't know what his wages are now, but if he's doing $25,000 a month for a rental space, not to mention his I think he has a Lamborghini, he has maybe a Ferrari, a Range Rover, something like that. Those all need to be paid for. I don't think he bought them outright. I think he leases them, which is probably smarter. Like he's renting. That's probably smarter to do. Rent the space rather than buy it outright. That's just my opinion. That's just my almost uneducated opinion. But I've noticed in certain circumstances that when you rent or lease, you have a better opportunity to use credit, which will build history, and you'll be able to create more wealth based on that, rather than just buying things outright. Could be wrong though. But yeah. So I think that with Soulja Boy being so with him being so unable to control himself, it may be hard to accurately display his wealth because, like I said, I don't know what happened. They went from $73.6 million to $4 million. I don't know how that happened. I don't know if that was Soulja Boy's team. He had a black lawyer, by the way. I'm just saying. He didn't have a Jewish or Italian lawyer like was it ASAP Rocky, free Mello. Who's what? Mello's in jail. Who you talking about? But McClot. Explain further. So he talking about that Mello in Texas. Oh, yeah, Carmelo with a K, Carmelo Anthony. Yeah, Carmelo. I was like, I'm the first thing I think about him is my nephew. My nephew's name is Romello. Yeah, the black kid who killed Austin Metcalf. Yeah. That's an interesting case. I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about Soulja Boy, but we can get back to that maybe tomorrow. And before that, I know Mr. Choice Terrain has covered that. I haven't done a lot of research on that, so I'm not sure if I can speak, intelligently on that specific case. All I know is that, hey, this is another interesting kind of space we're in, where we're talking about race, we're talking about possible murder, we're talking about people, people's lives on the line. It's very messy. So I'll look into that. I'll look into researching on that particular case. But now it's all about Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy. Tell him he should have told himself, I'm not gonna let this woman defeat me. She probably got in his face, went all in his forehead. Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? And he snapped. He snapped at her. He allegedly said, confined her. That was an alleged case, but these are the facts. The facts are that he sexually abused her, and I don't understand how he doesn't go to jail for that. I'm so confused. Why isn't he in handcuffs? I don't understand. I don't understand the Diddy case. There's 120 plus cases that lawsuits that show how he could have assaulted these men and women, these women and men. So okay, so Soulja Boy, I mean, it all goes back to home training and values and virtues and ethics. Nobody wants to talk about that. But that's the essence of reality for a human being in a society. Morals, virtues, ethics, values, all these things coalesce into one thing, and that's called morality. It's called ethics. It's called, being true to oneself and respecting the property rights, the individual rights of another person. That's what it's all about. That is the reality of it. That is the truth. And what we have to recognize thoroughly, because it's not it's not just a problem, confined to rich and famous rappers and everything. This goes down to the layers of every facet of the United States of America and the world. It goes down to the very bone marrow of who we are and the capacity that we create within ourselves, and what we have to do to really see this. So this is a day. This is a new day for Soulja Boy. This is a new day for America. This is a new day for the world, because he's a global artist. People were cranking that in Japan, in Thailand, in Australia, and London. Oh, crank that Soulja Boy. Crank the Soulja Boy. Crunk the Soulja Boy. That's my terrible English accent. But anyway, you get the picture. I mean, people in South America, Brazil, big booty Brazil broads, cranking that Soulja Boy. It's just. I mean, in Africa, people in Cameroon cranking the Soulja Boy, and they're all their colorful dresses and everything. It's really sad. It really is sad, but I think he can bounce back from this, and maybe this could be a turnaround for him to be even bigger than he was. Step on the stage as a larger than life character in a way that no one will ever forget, and will respect him once again. All right, I have to talk about this story, because I am so sick and tired of these medium, or do they call it media? Do I say media or mediums? Anyway, they're hoaxsters. They're hot. They're snake oil salesmen, and it's weird how people even cling to these people. I'm talking about Tyler Henry. Tyler Henry served as a medium for the rapper Tyga, and he felt like he had a connection with his mother, who passed away just a few months ago of unknown circumstances, of an unknown or undisclosed illness. So I have 5 likes for 3 viewers. Okay, I don't know how that works, but anyway. So he said that he had this uber connection with his mother, and that he can't wait to see her again, and all that. And I respect you. It's 2 people viewing, 6 likes. Okay. I respect anybody that has faith. I respect you as a human being, as a person. I can't respect the faith. I can't respect the idea. I mean, Mr. Choice Star Terrain said somewhere in his book, he said, if somebody suggests to you to go to a psychic, that means they pretty much degrade. I'm paraphrasing, but they degraded you as a person of intelligence, or of knowledge, or of a degree of semblance of who you are and what you are yourself. That's what this guy is doing. This Tyler Henry guy is this new guy on the block. There's always the same kind of stick. He's like, oh, and there was something that was about crystals, right? Now I'm talking about the Christian Chenoweth one, and she's just like, oh my god, oh yes, she gave me the crystals, and I'm just like, first of all, they gave this information over to him before all this happened. There's no such thing as any mystical world outside the range of outside of the range of reality. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. All right. Outside of the range of reality, there's no mystical realm. There's no goblins and ghouls. There's no angels and demons. There's none of that. But if you believe in that, that's your right. You have the right to do it. It's covered in the Constitution. I think it is. You're able to go freely within whatever faith or mysticism or spirituality you choose to do. That doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't mean it's true. But you have the right to say all that. You have the right to do all that. You have the power to do that. So it just goes with the reality of saying how there are so many different channels and different ways that people can defraud and pull the wool over and this guy's got 2 million views on YouTube. He's got let me see, I can look it up real quick. He has 45.1 thousand subscribers. So it's not like he has a huge following. He has a modest following. But I think it's going to grow because that's how, most people do. If you have some kind of mystical thing going for you, most people are going to flock to that rather than the rationality, the reason, the truth. I mean, Dr. Jerome Brook has about 38,000 subscribers. He should have 38 million subscribers. Mr. Choice Star Terrain has 270,000 subscribers. He should have 270 million subscribers. I mean, but nobody wants to, acknowledge the fact that there is no God, there is no gods, all that passes away at a certain time. People believed in real life that there were such things as these various gods, like the Greek gods, they had a god for everything. The god for winter. They had God for seasons. They had God for cereal. They had God for the harvest. They had gods for everything, and they had God for winning. That's Nike. Nike is the goddess of victory. So, we have to, acknowledge that. We have to keep that in our minds. The fact that, so many people are aware of that, or not, excuse me, not aware of that. They're not really focused on the fact that they call it, oh, that's Greek mythology. Yeah, that's Roman mythology now. That's Roman mythology. Yeah. That's Greek mythology. When you say Christian mythology, oh, Christian mythology. It's not Christian. It's not mythology. That's real. There's a woman was turned to salt. That's true. A man was punished. Um, and sent to hell. And there was the devil walked with Jesus in the desert. All these different things. Yeah. Hey, I try to educate. I try to educate, King. I don't know which part you didn't know though. What didn't you know about that? Yeah. So that's just the facts. But let me get back to this Tyler Henry guy. He went to sat down with Tyga, and he had I didn't see the video. I don't even know if there is a video, but he sat down with him, and Tyga claims that he had a connection with his mother. So he probably gave little tidbits that are very general, and seem like it's real. And I think they feed him information in his ear. Like there was another guy back in the mid 2000s, like the early 2000s, late 90s, 2000s. He got found out that there was, of course, call me now for your free reading. I'm trying to think of her name, Miss Cleo. She got found out really quick, and that was like a super embarrassment. She died, a few years ago. But anyway, it's just it's all mysticism, and it doesn't matter if it's faith or not, because you can be mystified by a tree, you can be mystified by the Republican Party, you can be mystified by all these. It doesn't just have to be established faith or faith based mysticism. It could be anything. It could be anything that you just deem as higher than the rational world, higher than the realm of reality. That's the truth. There's existence and existence only. Existence exists, and that's it. That's all. All these things we make up, or anything, those are like the powers of the mind. I'm quoting from Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead. Like that, the fact that we can even, and she's not advocating for it, but she's just saying how the human mind is so powerful that we can even create such, entities that don't exist in reality. That's the truth. I mean, it's just we have the power of our minds to do that. That's, she said, to the highest religious abstraction. I think she said that. I could be wrong. I'm just paraphrasing now. But she said that's what she was just giving an example of. She was just giving an example of what it meant to be a member of the cliques that form, different, it depends on how small your clique is or how big your clique is. Like, you're not going to have a lot of tree worshipers, or there used to be. I mean, now it's the environment. That could be a faith, that could be a part of mysticism. The tree huggers, the EPA and things of that nature. It's the same idea. So this um Tyler Henry guy, he's had a few people on for his reading. He's had Beth Bears. I mentioned Christian Chenoweth. He had Rob Gronkowski on. He goes on the talk a lot. So he definitely has a following. He has some viewers. Some views have 22,000 views. Some views have 275,000 views. He's asking, what happens when we die? He actually asked that question. What happens when we die? Instead of saying, how is the best way to live your individual life? How do you figure that? How do you say, what happens when we die? Who cares? It's about life. What happens when we die? What do you mean, what happens when we die? Who cares? It doesn't make a difference. Okay, King says, I believe in a for God clause. I think I know what you mean. I think, are you saying like, are you saying, that there should be a clause that says that there is a God, or that you're able to worship one? I'm all for that. I'm all for religious freedom. If you want to believe in God, that's your God given right. There is no God, but that's your right to do that. There is no God, but it's your God given right to believe. Um, so that is what's reality right now. I mean, this guy is totally debased. He's just completely debased. He has no credibility. But he's on these different shows. He's with they call him medium to the stars, I think they call him. He's got private one-on-ones. He's in Hollywood. His first show, Entertainment's mega hit Hollywood medium with Tyler Henry showcases a unique gift of communicating with the other side in 153 countries worldwide. With a waiting list now over 630,000, he travels the country giving sold out live performances as Shader's gift with thousands of those in need, including celebrities like Ellen DeGeneres, Sofia Vergara, Howie Mandel, Jim Parsons, RuPaul, Kris Jenner, and many more. So this guy is on his hustle. I can't knock him for being on his hustle. I can only knock him for his hustle. I'm glad that he's found some way to pull, like I said, pull the wool over people, but it's crazy. King says, "Nah, I believe everyone has four gods: the son, your father, your mother, and your religious choice." I disagree with you on that, King, but that's just the beauty of this country. We can disagree. We're not going to agree on everything. We can agree on this money that we're about to get. We can agree on that, but I don't agree with you on the four gods thing. Um, there's only one reality. There's only one existence, and we're living in it right now. We're living in that existence. We're continuing to be better human beings, and that's why I think I'm giving him some credit. Tyler Henry. I'm not giving him two. I'm giving him a shred of credit. He's trying to make something great than what it's not. Salute to Wizard. Thank you for coming in here. Make sure you swipe that. Well, oh man, it messed up. Daggone it. Where is it? Okay, so that is the reality of nature, and it's not just reality; it's existence. Existence comes before reality. Existence is metaphysics. It's just what is in reality, what is true, what is exact, what is in existence. That's the nature of existence. That's metaphysics. Epistemology is reality. That's in the mind. That's in the mind of the human being. To reason, to thought. And that's the next thing. Um, Epistemology is reason. I got some clothes for you, fam. What's up with the fam? I'm not your fam. I got some clothes for you. What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. You got some clothes for me. What are you talking about? You got some clothes for me. Everything I learned was creator. Okay. I respect you. Salute. Salute to that. I just have to be an atheist. I'm a non-believer in the theory of God. I'm a non-believer, complete non-believer, complete and utter non-believer. But I say, I respect and love believers. There are people that I love to my mind, not to my heart, but to my mind, and they happen to believe in the unknown and the unknowable. But that's their choice. They have every right to do it, and there's a whole lot of them. Like, what is it? Like 90%, 95% of the people in America are, believers in something, and they will say, "Oh well, I don't go to church, but I'm spiritual. And I am, I have my own gods, and I only believe in this, and." But yes, that's interesting. I'm still worried about Wizard's cryptic message. I got some clothes for you. You. he meant to just say one you, but I got some clothes for you. You. Okay. That is, that is the truth behind it. King says, I respect you, you're too. You won't catch me trying to make you believe. Exactly. That's the truth. That's how eons, maybe not eons, but millennia of wars and people being killed in the name of, do you believe in God? No. Boom. Do you believe in God? Yes. Do you believe in my God? No. Boom. That's from George Carlin. George Carlin said that. But that's the essence of what has been going on for the past thousands of years. That's what's been going on for thousands of years. Some old gear. Where's this coming from? Wizard. Some old gear, basically. What? I need new clothes. I like my attire. This is my uniform. This is my uniform for the show. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that your cryptic messages? Trying to say I need new clothes? So this Tyler Henry guy kind of just, he would rub me the wrong way, but I know too much. I know better. No offense, my bad. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about my clothes? I don't know what you're saying. You don't have to say my bad. I just didn't know where you're coming from. I'm forever wear these clothes until something else comes up, and then I might switch it up. But I'll be forever wearing these clothes. You have a lot of stuff to donate. What does this have to do with the show, sir? You're not on topic. Stay on topic, Wizard, please. I don't know where you're going, sir. But anyway, Tyler Henry and his ilk are, dangerous. They're dangerous because they're actually purporting like they know what they're talking about. Like they know exactly what they're saying. Well, did he? I'm looking at a blue ball. Yeah, blue ball. And they're like, oh, you know what? There was a blue ball. Like they had to, they may have gotten, ahead of time, ideas on how to properly educate themselves. And he said, yeah, okay, well, they had a blue ball or something like that. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna mention that. Then he goes on stage. Yeah, there was a blue ball. Or like Ron Gronkowski. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, in a previous life, you were already a football player. You were a football player before. He was just. I'm not saying I'm not. I didn't see it yet, but I'm sure he would have been like, yeah, yup. That's the facts. That's true. Like I can just see that happening. Um, that is, what is so powerful. It's an inept power. That's how I'm going to probably put it. It's an inept power. It's an or impotent power. That's what I meant, but not inept. An impotent power. It's just like the Wizard of Oz. That's the best way I like to explain things like this. Because he's all powerful, all knowing. Go see the wizard. Go see the wizard. It's all about the wizard. The wizard's the guy behind a curtain. I hope I'm not spoiling it for anybody. But he's a guy behind a curtain with levers and wheels and gears. I'm the great and powerful Oz. Like that's exactly a great metaphor for faith. Everybody thinks it's so. It's even better because at least you could have seen the big head and the fire and the flames and the resounding voice. Go forth and go forward and all that. At least there was that. But in this there is nothing. There's no existence. They tried to make it like they're like we need something. We need something for the second act. I know we'll bring in a guy saying he's he's God, but he's not really God. He's God in human form. He's going to come of a virgin birth. I know. It sounds that sounds woo. But he's gonna be a lamb to be slain. He's gonna be the last sacrifice that we're gonna make. But we're still gonna uphold sacrifices all the way through time. which is amazing to me. The irony of it is, like, sacrifice, yes. Sacrifice. We must sacrifice. Sacrifice for the country, sacrifice for the poor, sacrifice for everybody that's downtrodden. That's the whole point of sacrifice. And it didn't go away with Jesus. It's still, I mean, people don't, at least in America, in most circumstances, they don't sacrifice, their highest values, their children, or a lamb or a dog or a cat, especially. That'd be the highest values in America, sacrificing a cat or a dog, for God or something like that. Putting them on a pyre or something like that, that would just be too much. That's hey. I believe in Jesus, but let's not get too crazy. Let's not start sacrificing cats and dogs. Let's not start doing that. But that is that's the reality of it all. That's how impotent power. I like that. Impotent power. It's a completely impotent. That's an oxymoron, of course, but that's what it is. It's a power over human beings. It's like having a trillion, or largest number of zeros you can imagine against one. The amount of zeros might take up the space on the page, right? And the one just stands there all alone. What has more value, the one or the Google or the Googleplex of zeros? The one, of course. The one, of course, is always going to take precedence over how many zeros, and God is a zero. And that's what we have to really truly realize. And that's what this Tyler Henry guy is really, playing up. I don't think he says too much about Jesus and God. I could be wrong. I didn't see all of his clips today. I just read the story that he did with Tyga. It's real sad because Tyga's mom just died in January. And, he's very, emotional and very impressionable. And he wants to, find some way to relieve his grief. And that's the saddest part, because there's no relief of, someone that is so close to you. You don't get over that. There's no getting over, a husband getting over his wife, or a wife getting over her wife, or a son getting over his father, or a mother losing her daughter. You don't get over that. There's no closure. There may be a polishing, there may be a glossing over, but there's no closure. There could be stitches. There could be stitches to the wound, but it's still open. It's still kind of, you can see where the stitches were even when they were removed. That's the reality of all this. That's how true and meaningful this really is. This is very serious business. We're dealing with people's lives. We're dealing with their entire lives. That's how serious this all is. The fact that people's lives are on the line. Their minds are on the line. I was a Christian for 16 years, I would say. I was conscious of being a Christian from the age of 3 to about the age of 19. I read The Virtue of Selfishness, and it changed my whole entire life right on the spot. I was like, this is it. I don't have to do this anymore. I have something that I can hold on to and show. Even to this day, people that I love to death, don't agree with, or don't approve, and I don't approve of them and their ideas, but that's just the reality of it. Max Vision Films. Salute to Max Vision Films. Well, this isn't Ask Questions Day, Max Films. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button. But this isn't Ask Questions Day right now. This is me exploring faith, mysticism, reality, existence, truth, whatever you want to call it. I was inspired by Tyga, the rapper, and his mother, who passed away in January, who had a major impact on his life. and he's grieving continuously, and as he should, and there should be no mockery or anything slight against his grief. It just has the door open for being able to decipher what is real or not, what is true or not. And this Tyler Henry guy, I'm trying to think of the other medium. What was it? Another medium from the 2000s. Trying to think of his name. Is that his name? John Edward. He had a TV show. John Edward Cross Country. I mean, it's just despicable in a lot of senses. It's very despicable. So this John Edward McGee, or John McGee Jr., or John Edward, he claimed to be a psychic medium, going in different people's lives, telling them different things. That's what makes things so disturbing. That's what makes it all disturbing. Is that they're playing. They're not being. They may be serious, but they could be. They're playing with people's lives, paying with people's livelihoods. He's getting paid for this. He's getting money. He's a huckster, but he's getting money. I can't respect that. Snake oil salesman. That's what it is. It's a spiritual snake oil. It'll calm anything. It will definitely heal everything. All that. I mean, if I just look into your past and look into your wallet for a few $100,000, or maybe $10,000, whatever the case may be. He does sold out tours, and I've already seen. First of all, I know that there is no God or any mystical dimension beyond reality in this existence, but I've seen actual shows where he had in his ear the different bits of information that he was supposed to say to the person. Oh, so there was a dog. I see a dog. It's a black dog. Kind of furry. Like, I had a black dog. He was a little furry guy. Yeah, his name was Chester. I remember that. I remember all of that. How did you know that? It's like complete conspiracy. No, it's conspiracism. You can't even. There's no way of evaluating it or making it into truth. Conspiracy theories do have an element of truth to them, but conspiracism do not. And mediums, I don't know. They do not possess the power. They have the impotent power over people. They have a power over people, but it's impotent. It's not real. It's a hollow missile. Looks like it's going to fire and looks like it's going to do damage, but it has nothing to do with damaging or destroying. Maybe that's a mixed metaphor. I don't know, but you know what I mean. It's not legit. It's not legitimate. It's not genuine. It's not real. But it's passed off as such, and they're like, "Oh my God, yes, she's talking to me because I remember that sweater. It was a blue and red sweater, and she used to wear it all the time. And I can't believe you even coming up with that. How did you know? How did you know?" He listened to his earpiece. That's how he knew. That's what we have to realize. And I'm so surprised that in 2025 there's still mediums, I guess you can say, these quote unquote mediums who exist in between the worlds of reality and non-truth. So we have to be on guard for that. We have to be vigilant. We have to be aware of that and be keen on anybody that tries to sell you that spiritual snake oil, because it's impotent power. I'd like to thank everybody for being here. Thank you so much for watching the show. Make sure you hit the like button before you go, and make sure you tell at least 12 to 50 people about this show so we can really get it popping and have a party in the live chat especially. Thank you very much. Take care.